move to Mombasa County, where a conference on Know Your Customer framework for import and export sector is taking place, and currently addressing stakeholders is Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Let's listen in live.
Multifaceted dimensions, including through illicit trade, through money laundering, through human trafficking, and through trade in wildlife, goods and services legally. So it is important, as we meet here today, to be grateful to the institutions that are involved in putting all of us together. My first commitment on behalf of the government of the Republic of Kenya is that our colleagues in the entirety of our institutional responsibility in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government will work very closely with all the agencies who are involved here to ensure that this multi-agency approach succeeds. Because, quite frankly, TPP, Governor, there is no better way of addressing this challenge than what we are trying to do here today. And we must therefore, I hope, in the course of this conference, you will agree and discuss, I believe, by the end of it, not just how to meet, but how to now continue working together. And this conference should be the basis upon which we build a stronger interinstitutional collaboration so that we can deal with some of the challenges that we are facing in tackling white-collar crime, including corruption. It's important to mention right from the outset that the movement of people and goods throughout the world is not a matter of port agencies and businesses alone. Indeed, it is much larger and a far more important matter beyond routine procedures and checks, or sheer entry and exit of people and their goods through air and seaports, and ensure that we go beyond this in addressing the crimes and the challenges that come with it. I make haste to add that the growing use of our ports, the security of our ports, the enforcement of high safety and quality standards by port officials, the efficiency, cost effectiveness, and the evident success of our procedures in supporting business should be our priority. In addition, other than that, we also need to look at ensuring that we are able to effectively check any crime that is committed through the use of our ports and services related thereto. As you are all aware, Kenya is a gateway for trade in the East and Central African region, with its ports of entry handling massive amounts of imports and exports. Indeed, a significant percentage of export and import commodities originate and/or are destined to countries within the region when they come through our ports. Our container traffic, in the port of Mombasa alone, for example, has increased by about 10% last year, and transport of cargo to other countries was up by about 136.8% in the same year. The port handled about 34 million tons of throughput cargo, which is a sharp increase from 28.5 million tons in 2018. Currently, the port is ranked number 5, on the continent. And as we going by the reforms and the investments the government is making, we are sure that once we operationalize the Lamu port also, we'll be having massive cargo moving through our ports. For those of us in the security sector, we are happy to celebrate this, but we also look at the challenges that come with that, and that's why I am happy that we're having this discussion this morning. Unfortunately, however, when you have all these businesses and the cargo moving through our ports and our area, it comes with some of the problems that we have highlighted, movement of counterfeit goods and services. For example, one, movement of fake medicines. We've had so many cases, I can't enumerate all of them, of movement of fake medicines across this region. Secondly, wildlife and forestry products moving illegally alongside this. Thirdly, human trafficking, which has been a challenge in some cases because, truth be told, an ambassador came to see me about a week ago from one of our partner countries, specifically to raise this issue with me, to tell me that we now need to pay attention as a country to the level of possible activities of human trafficking that could be going on through our borders. And as we go along, I could go on and on in enumerating the challenges that come with this. Now, as my colleagues, the previous speakers have said, the problem is that if you do not know your customers and you do not know those who are trading around, it is very difficult to trace some of these activities. Needless to say that there's also the challenge of movement of illegal arms across our ports. In this country, we have had serious issues recently with a number of illegal arms in illegal hands. For the first time, 2 months ago, we banned about 8,000 illegal firearms in illegal hands, and you cannot believe it, over 300,000 illegal ammunitions, of course, in illegal hands. What is surprising, and that is what I will shock you with, we are about to prepare to ban another pile of thousands of guns, because it's only 2 months ago that we banned 8,000 and about 300,000 bullets. We have been piling because we have been actively moving around collecting and mopping up illegal firearms. We have been another 2 months, we'll be banning probably another 5,000 to 6,000, as it were. We cannot, as a country, spend our time, collecting illegal firearms and banning illegal firearms that are finding their way here. Those are the ones that we collect. What about those that are moving stealthily into some of the conflict areas around our region? It tells you that we have very serious problems that we need to deal with when it comes to checking the movement of goods and services through our ports, as it were. So a know your customer framework cannot be probably much more important and urgent than it is now for all of us, really, whatever you do, whether you are working with the Anti-Counterfeit Agency, whether you're working with our friends at the Financial Reporting Center, where the Governor of Central Bank and myself have been focusing on certain issues related to movement of illegal cash, or whether it's got to do with our colleagues who are engaged in prosecution services. So it's necessary that we do what we are doing now. What has been missing DPP is this framework that we now have, a multi-agency environment where we can sit and have a platform where we compare notes on the customers and the individuals that we are dealing with. That's why, as I said earlier, this is a very important meeting we are having today. I would like, therefore, to see that as we move forward, a policy and a legal framework that promotes coordination and collaboration amongst all of us is established. I know that some of this is going to require...
Interior Cabinet Secretary right there addressing stakeholders when it comes to knowing your customer, especially targeting the export and the import sector, goods getting into the country and also out of the country, illegal products, as you know, and talking about,